Broadcasting live from the mixed up worlds of Hyrule and Zebes, this is the Link to the Past Super Metroid Combo Randomizer Tournament. Hello, everybody. My name is Dr. Bobtastic, and joining me today on commentary is Pansnake. Pansnake, how you doing?
I feel like I've done this before. Yesterday, in fact.
Yeah, well, that is generally the case, as the case may be. We've got hk112 and Breakdown both going into Zelda right at the start, seeing bombs on the Lake Hylia Island.
Unless they desperately are in need of bombs, I think they'll be fine on skipping them.
And we get a Sank play.
The key, that's a good sign. A bad sign.
It's certainly a sign, that's for sure. It just means that, you won't necessarily have much trouble getting to the back. If you know how to do the dark room, you can just get there right now if you really want to.
It's always a bit tricky to navigate the sewers without a sword or something to use as reference, but it's certainly doable. A lot more doable than, say, doing Mire without land. It looks like we got HK heading up to the Lost Woods while Breakdown's in the Uncle area to get a mushroom.
All right, so mushroom found. That's first little fetch quest item, and of course, could hang on to it and use it for fake powder, which is something I wish I had done yesterday.
Yeah, although given that they're given it this early, I'd be more inclined to think that the witch has. And I think Breakdown's gonna make that play. Oh, Quake and Lumberjack. This might be an Agaseed.
So the Quake medallion at the Lumberjack seed or Lumberjack location, very interesting. Not necessarily required, but still possible.
We haven't seen any sword upgrades or magic cape just yet, so we haven't seen much of an inclination that this is going to be Agaseed just yet. But just seeing that at the Lumberjack spot is still pretty tremendous.
All right, we're getting a map check. We've got crystal number 5 over at Eastern Palace, another crystal at Desert, and looked like a pendant not green at Harry.
Ah, it was just for a piece of heart. So unfortunately, no fake powder glitch for Breakdown, but he's got an extra heart container.
Well, I'm very surprised that Breakdown didn't just reset there.
There is game audio, it's just, I think it's coming in kind of quietly on HK's end.
Although resetting would take you back to Super Metroid, but I mean, you'd save the mushroom.
Yeah.
So right now, Breakdown farming for bombs there on the bushes.
Granted, he only needs like one to get inside the bombable. At least coming in through this angle, he can go ahead and check to see what's at the race. Super missiles.
Now, personally, this early, I go for any super missiles I can find.
But he's opting to skip it by the looks of it. HK instead planning to buy bombs since he's got enough money for it. Now, I'm not sure if HK already dipped into the Thief Hut, or if he just went in to get like bombs first before doing so.
Yeah, it looks like he went to purchase the bombs first.
Let's see what the Thief Hut has for us today.
Well, more bomb capacity than you can shake a 10-foot pole at, plus a super missile and piece of...
So nothing too incredible, just mainly more ammo.
and some additional rupees. And that's about it for Blind's Hut. But there's still plenty of cack left to go around.
We still got the well. I don't think they talked to the merchant just yet. I mean, HK's got enough to buy whatever item the merchant has, but Breakdown, oh, he's just got enough.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, heard a piece of heart on HK. Extra arrows. What else we got in here?
A missile, a sword, and some money.
It's probably the most important upgrade so far that they found. Because having no, like, functional weapon is pretty bad with just starting out in Link to Past.
Yeah. And sword is basically like half a lamp because it allows you to kind of see where you are in the dark rooms.
I would not imagine trying to like go through Aga's tower without lamp.
I have done it before. It ain't pretty.
Ooh,
Hey, look
Moon
at that.
Pearl. Moon
Yeah.
Pearl at the chicken hut.
One moon pearl to go, please. That's what you order at the chicken hut, right?
Get one chicken, get a Moon Pearl free.
I mean, Chicken Hut does sound like a drive-through restaurant. That's all I'm saying.
Just don't anger the chickens. They will swarm you.
All right. 300 rupees in the library, and HK is going to go look at the race game as well.
And he too is deciding to skip out on it.
I cannot leave behind super missiles like that. Not when I can get to them.
It's kind of debatable. Like, I think with early Brinstar, it's not that much of a requirement to have too many missiles, but yeah, it certainly helps.
Well, my thing is, I just can't beat Ridley with Charge Beam, and so I need all the super missiles I can stand.
I kind of do a mix of the two. If I have like the charge plasma, I'll get in a few shots with that, but otherwise, I will definitely use super missiles on Ridley. They're just much faster and more reliable. I did not see what that was the HK grabbed because the stream lag.
Yeah. There's going to be a little bit of stutter over there on HK's side, and there's not much we can do about that, but we'll do our best to keep you apprised of the situation once we get the other location, or once it comes up on the other side. Another missile pack.
Is he gonna? Okay, he's gonna head towards Mini Moldor next. It kind of depends on me sometimes. Sometimes I like to route in like doing, like checking Desert Ledge and Agahni's Cave after I do the dam. And then sometimes I would like to do what he's doing and do Mini Moldor.
Yeah. So Agahni's Cave, I sometimes like going over there depending on how much I think the seed's going to troll me. That's 10 arrows, which I guess we should have figured out by the fact that HK has 10 arrows.
But then again, arrow count is something you don't really pay attention to all that much.
Alright, more supers. Spring Ball.
Another sword. And
Lantern.
lantern.
Cape? No,
Okay, given that we've gotten 2 sword upgrades, it threw lamp at us, and we have Moon Pearl, I think the game is really wanting these runners to go after Aga.
I mean, yeah, Aga at this point would seem like a reasonable play. Like it's not a perfect play. It's not a cape, it's just supers. But it would have been hilarious if it was a cape. That would have been the, hey, you should go do Aga. Really, like, seriously.
Now, the nice thing about having Moon Pearl this early is that while they're doing the ice cave check here, if they wanted to, they could fake flipper over to the King Zora area to check to see what's on Zora Ledge and what's also in the Waterfall of Wishing.
Yeah,
They
the
won't be able
lack-
to. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, sorry. The lack of funds is gonna make it awkward to try to check Zora at the moment, but other than that, it's a pretty good play. Yeah, HK not gonna pull that one right now. For all we know, we may actually see the Aga play here, though. I kind of feel like I'd check Sahasrara and Eastern first. Though, if I'm not mistaken, HK hasn't even done Escape yet, so... Or even Uncle, so... There we go.
I think what he's going to do is check out the Uncle area as well as maybe doing the dungeon and escape before doing Aga, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, I mean, that seems reasonable. Two 300 rupees in Waterfall Cave seems a little far-fetched.
Now, if they wanted to, they could farm up for some rupees via the Houlihan glitch if they wanted.
Yeah, 225 rupees can be acquired in that particular room. That's something that I actually really like to do early in randomizers, like combo randomizer in particular. Just because you've got all these Super Metroid items mixed in, you end up with fewer rupees available from the start.
Yeah, I'm sort of half and half, and like when I do the Houlihan glitch, I sometimes gamble on if the prize trees will have bombs or not, and then other times it's like, nah, I'm not gonna gamble. I'm just gonna buy bombs.
And the sink is real.
Yeah,
Shovel time.
they're both going through the dungeon at the same time. They're just like going in shoulder to shoulder, trying to get to the dungeon.
All right. Next room here, we got the blue guard. Take care of him, and 50 rupees.
HK had a little bit of trouble with that guard, but he's good.
So, of the 5 remaining chests in Hyrule Castle, one of them will be a map, and the remaining 4 can contain items.
So given that we've already found the key early, and we haven't found map just yet, the sewers will be the next best location to try and get items.
Yeah, and since we did find the key, it will be a... most runners will actually go for that, just go all the way to the back of Escape here.
With HK and Breakdown both setting up a death warp just to put them right back at the end. It does feel kind of weird with like Hyrule Castle being sort of a pseudo dungeon.
I mean, yeah, it is technically classified as a dungeon under the... or in the game, so that you can actually take death warps.
The reason for that being is that it has a map to it. And I think any map, any dungeon that has like a map to it, you can use the mirror head to like teleport back to the entrance.
Whoa!
Ooh! Screw attack for Breakdown at Crossroads.
So screw attack is interesting because there are some places screw attack gives you that ordinarily you would need morph ball and bombs to get through.
Yeah, I think having like screw attack this early allows them to go to green and pink Brinstar if they wanted to, but there wouldn't be that many items for them to check, not without morph ball bombs for that matter.
And there's the tempered sword, and Breakdown almost actually pulled it off there. He was like, okay, that's all the items. And then he opened it anyway just to be sure. And yes, in fact, it was the map.
But dang, tempered sword already? They only have to worry about damage.
You want to talk about damage output? We put together the tempered sword and the screw attack in this amount of time. Screw attack deals a sickening amount of damage. I believe it is something on the order of 2,000. That being said, it doesn't do damage to the bosses, which is sad.
It's a shame you can't just jump into them and they die. But then that'd just make the game too easy. And once again, Thieves Town is green pinned. Thieves Town was green pinned on your race too, wasn't it?
That it was. Hey, there's the X-ray scope as well. So, some of that microwave business.
Breakdown did find power bombs in there, so once he gets Morph Ball, he'll be set to explore Super Metroid. Granted, 5 bombs is kind of a small amount to do so.
Yeah. Like, you can't get through the gauntlet on 5 power bombs. It's not possible.
So
You
they
can get to the item up there. They do have screw attack, so that wouldn't be a problem. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, they could just jump through the blocks.
I mean, in theory, you can get through Gauntlet with just the screw attack, and not the... Or you can get to the item, anyway, in the front, without the Morph Ball.
Actually, and I think someone pointed out yesterday, you can actually break through the blocks to get to the second part of Gauntlet with screw attack. You just have to be really precise with your jump.
Yeah, but don't you have to roll underneath?
Oh yeah, that's right. They don't have Morph Ball.
Yeah, so you don't need a bomb to do that, but you do need a bomb to, or you do need the Morph Ball just to go through. All right, so it looks like HK has decided to head back into Super Metroid, and Breakdown is checking out Eastern Palace.
Not a bad play, all things considered, given that Eastern Palace is a crystal dungeon, and just doing this early dip gives him access to items like the cape there.
So HK doing the screw attack version of the whoa.
HK finding the flute.
Yeah, so the screw attack version of the old Mother Brain item, and gets the flute at that location. Pretty nice. Yeah, that flute will give us access to Death Mountain immediately, or at least to where you can rescue the old man and get the Spectacle Rock item.
And they do have lamps, so getting to the old man's gonna be easy.
Alright, so we got additional super missiles at the Vanilla Morph location.
They're doing pretty good on missiles so far. 20 is nothing to sneeze at. Aside from the cape, Breakdown hasn't found much here in Eastern Palace.
And we see a missile in the Blue Brinstar E-Tank location, ceiling spot, and basically all we can check here. Now, HK could head from here, could head left to the Green Hill Zone, head that direction.
Though I think if he did that, he'd only be able to check. Well, he could check with underneath the bridge at the early super location, but aside from that, he could only get 2 items in Pink Brinstar.
Yeah, 2 items in Pink Brinstar. He can also get the one item in the, I think for some reason they call that the Terminator room.
What, before early supers?
Yeah.
I think that might be what it's called, yeah. But yeah, they
It's
would
the
have to
one
be
that's
really
diagonal.
careful. Yeah, they have to be really careful in grabbing that item because they gotta grab it and then jump out immediately. Otherwise, they'll get soft locked.
Are you talking about the one in early supers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, grapple beam.
Okay, grapple beam at the shovel location. That's an interesting development.
Looks like HK is opting to still continue exploring. Oh, he's gonna head to green and pink.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like that's what Breakdown's gonna be doing as well. The question is he gonna go down to Blue Brinstar first or do what HK's doing and go right to... Okay, no, yeah, he's going to Blue Brinstar.
So that's a vanilla energy tank there, I'm being told. It looks like HK did go ahead and just pick that up and not head on to green and pink Brinstar, instead opting to head back into Zelda with that flute.
Speaking of which, Breakdown just got his. I think in their case, they're going to be trying to check as many locations as they can before they go fight Aga, just in case they don't have to.
I mean, that's generally the strategy you go with. I mean, you either do it as soon as you possibly can, or you put it off until as late as you can.
You know, in this case, if they play all the cards to me like that, and I have Tempered Sword with Lantern, I would go to Aga and Heart. Because I don't want to risk, like, getting late into game, find out I need Quake, and I still haven't beaten Aga.
Alright, so hk112 activating his swag duck here.
I always find it weird that, you know, the duck can take you anywhere in the overworld, but it won't do anything in the dark world, and yet it picks you up and takes you to the pyramid at the end of the game.
Yeah, it is a little strange. The headcanon I have on that is he heard you through the portal on Tower of Hera.
So we got red potion on Desert Ledge there.
That is a bottle which we haven't seen any of yet, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, he realized he doesn't.
Oh, no bombs.
That's okay. You can probably just do that later when he goes to do Desert Palace.
Alright, so Breakdown, after getting out of Blue Brinstar, is also heading directly to activate the flute.
You know, given our current pendant location, we might be seeing both Mire and Turtle Rock required for this run.
Yeah, I mean, we are only one dungeon, or we only know we are missing one pendant whereabouts. Words. Did you know that words are things?
It's only a 1 in 7 chance for no, actually, it's a 1 in 6 chance for Turtle Rock to be a pendant dungeon, or Misery Mire for that matter.
Yep. All right, so hk112 heads into the pre-high jump boots item here. It's going to have to wait on the Nova here to come back before he can get out.
Unfortunately, if you don't get to that Nova as soon as you can, you're gonna have to wait a bit. There it is. The reason he's in that cave is just because his little hut here, that's just his astral projection.
Ah, I see. Fair enough. I mean, I'm not sure when the old man became a level 13 sorcerer and was able to pull that one off, but
why do you think he lives in the mountains?
Yeah, fair enough.
See, on top of Spectacle Rock, we got a heart piece, and inside the cave, we've got super missiles. Oh yeah, and that's another good point. He does have the magical mirror in vanilla.
So Breakdown will now be checking the pre-high jump location as well, it looks like.
He might also check to see what's at Crocomire Escape as well.
Yeah, that is something you can at least see. Oh, he got the Nova. Saving a little time there.
Thankfully, missiles fly pretty quickly across the screens. He was able to snipe that Nova before it could get away.
Alright, so Breakdown resets and heads back to Super Metroid. Looks like we may see a play on the Brinstar area.
Yeah, looks like he might be heading to green and pink Brinstar. I was going to say he might go check to see what's at mode, but then it's like, oh wait a minute, he doesn't have Morph Ball, so he can't use Power Ball.
Right. That's the issue. The door in front of Moat is orange.
And you can't check Red Tower either, because the door down to there is orange as well. Well, if you wanted to get the gauntlet, you'd have to either do the very tricky wall jump to get up to it, or had do infinite bomb jumping, which they can't do because they don't have Morph Ball and Morph Ball Bomb.
I mean, the jumping up there is kind of tricky, but I've managed to pull it off, so I think if I can do it, most people can eventually get it.
Also, plus, since this isn't hard Metroid logic,
right? It's not in logic.
Yeah.
All right, so Breakdown is not even going to bother looking at the early Supers room, and we're just going to head right over to Pink Brinstar. There's 2 items here that are accessible. I have seen the Morph Ball here before, which is just a pain.
Well, would it be better than finding Morph Ball on Trinex?
Can't say I've ever seen that one, but that sounds awful. Alright, so
I haven't had it happen, but I've heard it happen.
I mean, I don't see why it couldn't happen. Oh, and looky there. HK is headed for Aga. The bow at Pink Brinstar.
It's bow.
Okay.
This could definitely play into Breakdown's favor here, since he's already found the bow. Depending on what we may find at Dark Pyramid after we beat this could still be in HK's favor as well.
So I like how Breakdown there was being very careful about breaking those blocks there in Pink Brinstar, because I have managed to get myself stuck there without the Morph Ball before, and it's not fun.
Yeah, if if you don't really complete the jump all that way, you could just get like the blocks in such a way that it forces Samus to crouch, and unless you know how to wiggle out of that, you're stuck. Meanwhile, HK is trying to navigate this very dark maze.
Using the lamp to his advantage, actually lighting the torches, allowing him to proceed. He might also be checking some of these pots just to see if there's hearts underneath him because he's a little low on health. I believe the only one that has one is that one on the right side. I only know this because I've tried to do the same because I don't want to die.
The interesting thing about Aga's Tower is that a lot of these rooms aren't locked or require you to beat the enemies, so you can just run on by.
Yep.
Even then, though, Aga's Tower is pretty long.
Alright, so I think Breakdown... I mean, if I were him, I would be taking that bow and putting it to good use.
Because the bow is in logic, since they have screw attack. So he might be thinking this is probably the best play to do right now, is to go ahead and finish up Eastern Palace and see if there's another item for him to get.
Now, I'm a little used to version 30 now of the Link to the Past randomizer, where there's hints on some of those tiles there.
On
and
the
I was
tiles?
like, oh, what's on the hint? Yeah, on the telepathic tiles.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's one here in Aga Tower, which a lot of people don't know about. And I was like, oh, what's on the hint? Oh, nope. Not a thing. Not a thing.
I'm sure we'll get the hint system soon enough with either game. I'm not too sure how it would work for Super Metroid.
You get a hint at the map rooms. That would be my guess.
But then again, like, a lot of the map rooms with Super Metroid are opted out for the warp door.
That's true.
So maybe it could be, like, at save stations or something. Or the energy refill rooms. Either way, HK's on his fight with Aga 1. Let's see how well he can power his way through this. So we got first hit. Second hit. Oh, he missed the third one.
And I guess he thought that was going to be lightning, but it just happened that Aga ended up in the spot where he throws lightning.
Yeah, see, unless he is facing you, it's gonna be an attack, but if he's not facing you, it's like...
Yeah. The other thing is, you just count the phases, and lightning is every 5th phase.
Oh no!
HK takes a death.
Oh, that is
Agahnim.
unfortunate.
That is... Oh.
He's gonna have to reclimb the tower.
I would be salty.
Either way, that is a quick kill on the statues with just normal...
That was the nicely set up southeast corner quick kill.
And there's Breakdown's first crystal.
And it is in fact a 5/6 crystal. However, the contents of the Armos item did not get him any closer to new access. So I think Breakdown's about to join HK in Aghanim's tower. Oh, and HK takes a second death in the dark maze.
I mean, thankfully he wasn't that high up, but still, that's time wasted.
So 4 hearts is way fewer hearts than you're expected to have when you're coming to
Isn't
Aghanim's
normally
tower.
like, don't you have like at least like 6 or 7 hearts by the time you're here?
When you're an NMG, you would have 7 hearts or 6 if you skip the Saint heart.
Though the one thing they do have on their here is the fact that they have tempered instead of master sword. So a lot of these enemies are just being steamrolled.
Alright, so HK gets through the maze again much more carefully this time. So one of the things with Aga 1 is the way I've learned to do it is I always charge the spin and stand either to his left or to his right directly. Now, that's going to be a little slower in some cases because you're knocking him into a suboptimal location, but then if you just release the spin when he releases the projectile, if it is a reflectable projectile, it'll just go back at him, and if it's not a reflectable projectile, it'll split it and the 2 pieces will go around you. And so
Yeah, that's what I normally do for Aga as well.
And that is
that's another death for HK.
And that is something I learned after dying to Aga a few times, and I was like, nah, I need to be able to do this, without taking damage.
I never really had too much trouble with Aga fights. It's only when he like kind of trips me up a few times with the blue balls, but other than that, he's pretty standard for a boss.
Alright, so Breakdown making it up to the final floor before Agahnim.
He's doing the smart play here and just like going as fast as he can, avoiding as many fights as possible just so he can maintain his health.
Oh, HK's on half a heart again.
You can do this, HK. We believe in you.
Now there is a heart under the bottom right pot here.
Oh no!
Not bottom right, bottom left. The one he was right next to. But unfortunately, takes a sword to the face. HK is still going for it.
It looks like Breakdown is using the strategy you mentioned earlier.
Yeah, the whole directly to Aga's left or right. Yeah, and survives that blue ball, no problem. Alright, so that takes us to the first lightning. Alright, HK managed to kill that guard. That was blocking him from the heart, but he didn't go pick up the heart. Alright, that's fine.
I just hope he gets lucky and like one of the enemies drops a fairy or something. Or heck, just more health. Aga's being a little trolly here and throwing quite a number of blue balls at.
Goodness!
He does not want to play nice.
What is this going to be, 10?
Third lightning strike and Breakdown showing his frustration at the really
okay,
bad
7.
RNG for this fight.
7 is not 10, but it's still a lot.
Either way, Aga 1 is down for Breakdown, and he is now in the dark.
HK is on half a heart in this red guard room.
I think there's 2 heart pots in this room here, so he just needs to be careful. Oh! Oof. I think I jinxed him. I'm sorry,
Why you gotta
HK.
be that guy?
Oh, we got a map check. Oh, Turtle Rock is a pendant.
Aha! So, we potentially will not need that ice rod. which, tends to troll people. Tends to be that thing.
So now we have access to the lumberjack cave is open up, but they still need to find boots if they want to get. And Breakdown can explore pod here. He just won't be able to fully complete it since he doesn't have hammer just yet.
But he will be able to get every single item except the item on Helmasaur. So I think it's a pretty good play, and it probably factors into why he went to Aga, even though there were a couple of checks he could have done otherwise. Because, you get to Aga, and then you can come out here and do pod. It seems pretty good to me. We also did see that the other 5-6 crystal is, in fact, in its vanilla dungeon, Misery Mire.
Yeah, like Turtle Rock, pod holds 5 items in addition to all the keys it has as well. So he can get 4 of those items now. Well, no, yeah, 4 items and potentially 1 on Helmasaur, unless he gets lucky and manages to get all 5 items, with the last item on Helmasaur being Mapper Compass.
Yeah, Mapper Compass would be what would be left there. Now, pod key logic is a thing. So we had a key in the first chest, which meant that the dungeon wasn't inherently bow locked.
Though it doesn't matter too much for Breakdown since he does have bow.
Right. Now, in order for the rest of the dungeon to not be bow locked, we need at least 3 total small keys among the first 4 chests. And then with those 4 chests and the 2 on the right side, because of key logic, there must be at least 4 small keys somewhere. So there's that big key, or that small key in the big key chest.
And good news for HK, he gets back to the Agahnim fight with full health.
Nice. Hopefully HK will pull it off this time. Takes half a heart there.
And for some reason, I thought the blue balls did a full heart of damage, but I guess I was wrong in that regard.
I think the normal projectiles deal a full heart.
I think lightning does 2 hearts if you get hit by that.
Lightning is bad. Alright, so we found 4 small keys up front, meaning these are likely to not be keys. How about a morph ball?
We finally found Morph Ball. It's in pod, which means...
and it's bow locked.
Yeah, it's bow locked, which means you had to go down to Pink Brinstar to get bow so they can go into pod and get this.
Yeah, and normally you can, one way you can get over there without that is using what's called the potion glitch, where you use a potion on the way to there to sort of trick the game into thinking that the mimics are dead at some point. The problem is no bottles, so we can't do potion glitch either, meaning if you're going to get that morph ball, you have to go to Pink Brinstar first, which is just dumb.
So yeah, this is a significant gain on Breakdown's side. And on that note, HK beats Agahnim 1. Now he's got access to the Dark World.
Unfortunately, he's going to be able to explore most of pod here and then not get anything. Well, we don't know what's in the back, but still.
We'll find out soon enough here.
Alright, so that's 5 of the 6 keys found.
How many items have we found so far?
2. the morph ball and a piece of heart, both on the right side. Now,
There's a third
missile.
item. Was that the 6th or 5th key?
That was the 6th, meaning there will be something that is not a key, or at least not a small key, in the Harmless Hellway here.
So I don't think he's found Big Key yet, so that means it could be in this dark maze, or actually it would have to be.
Yeah, there's definitely a big key in the dark maze. Oof.
Gotta be careful with those, not, I forgot what these things' names are, because I know they're not Dodongo.
They're Kodongos, which is actually Japanese for baby Dodongos.
Oh, so they are Dodongos, they're just called baby Dodongos. Okay, well, he found map. There's our 4th item, which means the 5th item is on Helmus Arcade.
That is correct. And that item there was a reserve tank, which is meh. But the morph ball is in play, which is
that's quite a big
always
thing
good.
there.
I was wondering what Breakdown was doing. He's just going to take the portal back to Super Metroid instead of taking the reset.
So does that mean he's going to try full clearing blue Brinstar first?
Quite possibly, though we are going to see the final missile location before any of that. I believe that's what this is called.
Is it called that just because people check here last?
Yeah, like I think if you're doing well, I think it's like the last place you pick it up in like 100% or something.
I guess that would kind of make sense if like you're routing in Lower Norfair or something. And you could just like go in via Red Tower and then route in the other side through Blue Brinstar. Bomb Chorizo just has a heart container, and since they don't have the morph ball bombs, he just sits there.
Yep. I had the pleasure of actually fighting Bomb Chorizo yesterday, and it made me happy.
I think Breakdown's trying to set up for an Alcatraz escape, and he gets it. Nice.
Well done.
Saves a
Like,
power bomb
I
getting
used
out of
to
there.
be able to do that, and then I can't.
I'm still practicing that. I haven't gotten the feel of it down, but I've been able to pull it off a few times. I just can't do it consistently.
I think that's about where I was. Alright, so Breakdown. Now gonna head back over to Green Hill Zone, etc. We'll see if he does the mock ball here in a bit to get to early supers. So the way you transport from Zelda to Link to the Past, or no, from Zelda to Super Metroid and vice versa, there are 4 different doors. One is the Fortune Teller's Hut right next to Link's house. That takes you to the save room, or the map room just south of Criteria. You've got the Fairy Cave in Death Mountain, which takes you to the Business Center in Upper Norfair. You've got the wrong side of Ice Rod Cave in the Dark World, which takes you to the back of Meridia. And then you've got the right side hut at Misery Mire, which takes you over to Lower Norfair next to Gold Chorizo.
And also we saw there from Breakdown, he found half magic, a blue mail, and red mail here. Wow.
Well, if that isn't the safety cave, I don't know what it is.
Both tunics right in the same area. What are the chances of that happening?
suppose you can dance if you want to.
And you might even leave your friends behind.
I'd be doing the safety dance right about now if I had all those safeties.
Yeah, I'd say that was a Super Metroid hype cave.
I mean, basically, early Supers is the Super Metroid hype cave. There's 5 items in there, and you're gonna go there as soon as you can, usually.
Although I could probably say the same about, I guess Pink Star too, just because that area has a lot of items as well. Maybe not clustered together, but in the general area,
Right,
there's a lot.
it's just a little more spread out, is why.
That way, let's see how quickly Breakdown can climb this wall.
I imagine faster than I did.
Yeah, I saw you had a bit of trouble with that on your race.
It had been a while since I'd played Super Metroid.
I've been playing this randomizer. Oh, he did nice mock ball there to avoid the. I still haven't gotten. I still haven't been able to do that.
All right, so Breakdown now heading out over toward Pink Star. We know he got the bow here earlier. And let's be fair, having to come here first to get the bow and then go to Pod to get the morph ball is just the worst. Like,
I think
it's really bad.
it isn't the first time I've seen something like this happen. Not necessarily with the bow, but just having to come down here first to get something and then come back here later. So looking like HK earlier was like kind of pausing a bit to think about, okay, where can I go where there might be an item?
And it looks like he's heading over to the waterfall cave.
Which is not a bad play, all things considered.
Yeah. So, you asked yesterday why I went into this cave without the moon pearl. It's because I forgot I didn't have the moon pearl. That's why.
Oh, but it plays out for HK. Plasma Beam.
Plasma beam it is.
Oh, that is very nice. No, HK beat Aga. He's got that done.
I just saw the fire rod on the ledge there. On Zora ledge. Alright, Breakdown. Breakdown is attempting the sports ball.
He gets it.
There he goes. He got it.
I gotta learn how to do that trick. I more try to do it the safe, consistent way.
Yeah, I line up with a very specific pixel. Alright, super missiles there. Isn't that also vanilla?
Yeah, that's a vanilla item. It may not be the
first intended super missiles in the game.
I think I commented earlier yesterday when I was commentating with Math Girl that I watched one guy that was part of a metal band that was playing this randomizer casually, and he went through Spore Spawn, and I commented that, with how many runners just skip Spore Spawn, it's so weird seeing someone just fight him normally.
And Breakdown gets the Wavegate skip on the 3rd shot. Well done.
All for the validation.
And the single arrow.
If there's one trick I'm proud to do, it's this trick doing the Wavegate glitch here in Pink Star. I've gotten good to it to a point that I can get it on my 1st or 2nd try without high jump.
Very nice. It is a tricky thing without the high jump boots, and it's still not the easiest thing with the high jump boots.
And the funny thing is, I actually find it easier to do without the high jump boots.
Fair enough.
His Breakdown's power bomb count is a little low here if he wants to check the rest of Blue Brinstar, but we'll see what he does here. Oh wait, he can't really get up there reliably since he doesn't have Ice Beam or High Jump. So, down to Red Tower he goes.
Like, I know there's a way to get up there. You kind of wall jump off of the pipe there. And
yeah, it's a really tricky wall jump to do since the ledge is jutted out pretty far, so you don't have much room to really do another wall.
I don't think it's quite as frame perfect as some other wall jumps, but it's pretty. It's still not the easiest. Is Breakdown going up Red Tower?
If he does, he's gonna need to turn off Screw Attack just so he doesn't break the block.
Either that or stand up.
Is he gonna skip out of the X-ray room? He's got Grapple Beam.
Oh yeah, Grapple Beam will get you there for sure. It's a lot easier than the high jump speed booster method I used. Oh no, HK got stuck!
Oh no!
Why did I even mention that earlier? Now
we
I feel like
jinxed him. Oh, we were talking about that earlier and it happened to him. HK, I'm sorry.
Alright, energy tank at the Spacer location.
Yeah, HK's not having a lot of luck with the seed.
Yeah, first Agate Tower just, causes him untold grief. Unfortunately, HK, this is not going to work out the way you want it to either.
Yeah, I can't explore either of these locations. I think he just realized.
Yeah, I mean, he was headed to the right place. He just needs to be careful and not get stuck. Breakdown heads to the business center.
Go see what the back is at Crocus.
Alright, so Croc Escape, just a +5 arrow upgrade, so not the world's greatest item. Breakdown also going to throw in a save here.
Which is a smart play, all things considered, since he's only got one power bomb left. If nothing's of value here, he can just save and quit. Or no, wait, what's... Oh, I think he's gonna go check Ice Beam and, No? What's he doing?
He's going to crate.
Oh, if he did that, well, why did he save first?
In case he dies to crate. Because that can happen. I'm not saying I was literally on 7 health when I got through with the crate fight, but I might have been.
I think Breakdown checked high jumps earlier, yeah.
Well, he checked the front of it.
Oh yeah, he checked the front of it.
He just didn't check the back because he didn't have Morph Ball. I hope he remembers there's other things at Morph Ball.
Well, he might be going back down after he's done with crate. Unfortunately, he does not have power bombs to go check the item, but I'd assume he would get some after beating crate, so he could do that on the way.
Let's hope so. If he doesn't, he will be unable to get out of here.
HK being very careful that time getting through the blocks. Does not want to get soft locked here again. Let's see if Breakdown can get the quick kill here. Oh, no, he doesn't. He did get in 2 super missile shots, so that's pretty good.
Yeah, very nice.
On the other hand, we got HK just picking up his bow and making his way out. Now he just needs to make his way to hide, and he'll get his Morph Ball. Yeah, there we go. There's a couple of power bombs.
All right, well, that'll do for breakdown.
Speed
booster. Excuse me?
Now, granted, it's kind of bad to get speed booster now since he doesn't have high jump, so it is going to affect his jump height if he's holding down the run.
Yeah, I did not know that was a thing until I was trying to do a specific wall jump over at Bubble Mountain. And I was like, why is it so... Why am I not making this jump? And I took out speed booster and it worked. Okay.
A funny thing, I used that whole low jump height to my advantage when I was trying to get to wreck ship, because while I did have speed booster, I didn't have like space jump or anything like that. So
no grapple beam or anything like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I did have high jump, so I tried to jump across, but high jump kept making me bonk my head against the bottom of the grapple. So I took off high jump and used speed booster so that it would give me forward momentum, but low jump height, so I could make the jump across the gaps.
If I were breakdown, I might just go back in there and farm more power bombs.
Yeah, but given that he doesn't have Varia, I think he only just needs to get into the other side of the high jump area. And once he does that, he'll probably make his way back into Link to the Past and do more exploring.
Yeah. I mean, if he wants to try to go to Ice Beam and all that, he can.
Well, actually, now that I think about it, Wreck Ship is open for him. Because he's got Speed Booster, he's got Morph Ball, he's got... Oh,
yeah.
Oh, there's Varia.
Oh, speaking of Varia... Okay. Not a problem anymore.
I guess we will be exploring Bubble Mountain here.
I feel like what I might do here is go Ice Beam into Croc. But that's only because I'm bad.
He is going to go explore the Ice Beam area. Which thankfully, since he's got Speed Booster, he doesn't need to do the Mock Ball setup.
It is very good.
I also remember he has Spring Ball, but unfortunately, since he doesn't have high jump, he doesn't have quite the height he wants.
Yeah, you gotta get the midair.
It's a little annoying that it's like the block is just high enough. Oh!
Butter!
Butter Sword in Ice Beam Room.
I can't believe it's Butter, ladies and gentlemen, and Breakdown now heading out to check the lower...
So we go check the Crumble Tower.
The Crumble Tower, that's the words.
He's gonna take this moment to get a few more power bombs since these enemies here reliably give off power.
300 rupees, and we do see that Breakdown is heading down to this location, which once you finish running through here with the speed booster, that does put you over near Crocomire.
Most people don't take this spot into consideration, but yeah, it puts you right at Croc.
Okay, so he is going to Crocomire.
I think he was debating whether or not to go to Bubble Mountain first, but it's like, nah, Crocomire's right here. Let's get him out.
Did you just almost say Crocodonk?
I hope I didn't.
I'm like, because that sounds like a great name.
If anything, I was afraid I was going to call him like Crocodile or something. Like I was about to say Crocodile.
Right.
HK's on his fight with the Armos Knights. Almost got it.
That's just a heart piece over there for breakdown, and HK takes care of the Armos Knights.
Oh, I like that one. Crocodile got croc and dunked. Yeah, I think, yeah. Now, he could do one of two tricks here. He could speed booster across, or... Yeah, actually, I think he's gonna go for that. This is a trick I like to do, just because it's fun.
Ooh, just missed it. So yeah, using this to get to the northwest room in the next room where you get the one item.
This is very good to do if you don't have something like space jump or grapple beam to get across.
Yeah, grapple beam will also get you across just fine off of that floating ripper there.
Breakdown is going to be doing smart play here, saving first, just in case all the items here in post Crocomire area don't really hold anything useful. You just save, quit, and come back here.
Alright, so HK will finally be heading to Pod with the bow in hand and finally get the morph ball, which, you know, I'll probably ask HK about it during the interview, but I imagine this feels awful.
Yeah. I mean, it's never really fun when you have to double dip pink Bryn stuff. Now, consider where we found Variasuit. I'm almost thinking we might find something useful here in Bubble Mountain / Crocomire.
Alright, so we got Indiana Jones missile.
Was a vanilla missile.
Oh, I didn't know that was actually a missile. I just knew it was a missile this time. And a piece of heart at grapple beam, and breakdown will just be taking the reset there.
Yeah, 2 heart pieces and some missiles. Yeah, I wouldn't really say for that. He's got more than enough normal missiles, and I think he's doing fine on health. So unless he finds like a heart container or something, even then, I'd probably even reset on that. So yeah, given Skullwoods is crystal and Fire Rod's on Zorledge, we need to find Flip.
Yeah, flippers need to get found yesterday. Flippers in swamp. Yeah, that seems like a real thing.
Well, flippers can't. Oh, yeah, flippers can't be in swamp because you need flippers to get into swamp.
Right.
Yeah, that would be the case.
I mean, it's like, did we generate this with no logic? Okay. Like, if you do no logic, then yeah, flippers can be in swamp.
I'm curious to know if Breakdown's going to turn off Speed Booster or not for this look. I'd imagine
you basically
so.
need to.
Yep, there he goes.
Good job. Though you do kind of have to run in from the other room there if you want to make that happen.
Why is he turning it back on?
So, if you're doing these, the wall jumps from here, you have to do. They're basically, as difficult as the gauntlet wall jumps, and also it's less easy to figure out where to do it.
Now, granted, he doesn't have to do this. He could go the long way around from like underneath, and then it wraps around to the underside here.
Oh yeah, huh? That did not even occur to me.
I would think that if you don't have something like space jump or something to get up there, then I would go the long way around, and I think that's what Breakdown's gonna do. Yeah, here we go.
Fair enough.
Because it just kind of reaches a point where if you can't like get it within like a minute or so, then yeah, just go the long way around. Be losing time more than saving just trying to pull the trick off.
Ooh, Breakdown taking a lot of damage here.
Yeah, I gotta be careful. Even though he's got Very Suit, he can still take damage from the lava.
Wait, you don't want to go down here. Okay.
Yeah, that goes to Lower Norfair. You know, I think if you were able to pull off the mid-air morph ball jump, you might be able to make it up. But I also think that there might not be enough height in the morph ball jump to get up.
Yeah, I don't think the spring ball jump is gonna be able to handle it. All right, HK heads to Balm Teresa, which we know does not really hold much. Though I'm sure with the way that Zelda's treated him so far this seed, he's plenty happy to pick up that heart container.
Now, ordinarily, whenever you're doing these kind of seeds, you kind of route this in while you're escaping Lower North. But at the moment, since he's taking the long way around, it's like, might as well just check it now. And unlike Belbla Mountain, that wall is easy to climb up, even with the extended leg.
Okay, there's the Ether Medallion for Breakdown over at Wavebeam.
This is good, because either this or Quake could be required to get into Maya. I haven't seen either runner check this, but let's see what's at the back of the skate.
The back of Gauntlet?
Or back of Gauntlet, yeah. Charge Beam!
Charge! Yeah, Charge and Power Bomb pack.
Back of Escape's worth it just for Charge Beam alone.
Alright.
Like,
Breakdown now going to head over to Speed Booster. And landing on this farm spot, getting some health back.
it's definitely a good place to farm since 5 enemies show up at once and all of them have the chance to drop like all the necessary ammo.
Bomb capacity upgrade out in front of Speed Booster, and a reserve tank at Speed Booster, which Breakdown seems to be perfectly fine with picking up.
Still just 3 more items left to check here on Bubble Mountain, though getting across there could be dangerous, because if he messes this up, he's gonna have to go all the way back.
That's true.
Yeah, he's gonna probably try to get rid of that flyer enemy first, just so he doesn't get knocked off. Oh, there's the other one.
And down it goes. So a quick grapple across, and we're good. Missiles over here.
And then just 2 more items back in Bubble Mountain Reserve.
$20 rupees and a piece of heart, so not much in that department. So, in terms of things that are amazing, we still haven't found the gloves or the hammer, which is ridiculous at this point.
Either was still a good find, though. That could save time for later if it is required.
I mean, at this point, I'm feeling like, wrecked ship is probably the play.
Yeah, because they got grapple beam, they got speed booster, and they've got Very Suit to take damage from the spikes. And I think it reduces damage on Phantoon's physical hits, but it won't reduce. Oh! Did you see what was down there?
I just barely missed it, but I'm assuming it's important. My goodness. Gravity suit all day. Okay, so do we just go to Ridley now? I mean, it'd be kind of difficult.
Man, Cathedral holding the most important item here.
I mean, you'd have to make some sick wall jumps or spring ball jumps to get through there, but...
Well, I mean, we could also use speed booster to get in there.
Yeah, I'm mostly concerned about the worst room in the game.
Yeah, they got Screw Attack to deal with that, but in terms of actually getting up there, yeah, it's definitely going to be a pain without regular Morph Ball.
Yeah, bombs would get you there, space jump, of course, and really precise wall jumps. Also, you can do a spring ball jump.
I think HK is farming for some supers here, because kind of ran out a bit trying to get the Spore Spawn skin. Man, how bad do you think this would be if, in addition to being a Heka seed, it was a pet seed as well?
I mean, we haven't ruled that out. Alright, so breakdown heading up to Criteria Power Bombs.
Is he gonna check Gauntlet as well? I would think. Yeah, I would think he
was there.
I would think he would, just because he has both the armor and the health.
Okay, HQ got the sports bond skip.
Yep, he's going to Gauntlet. Which is gonna be good for him, since Charge Beam's back there. Now, he didn't find Plasma Beam at the waterfall area, so unfortunately, he does not have the microwave beam, but at least we know where it is.
Yeah. I know you can do the microwave beam on Phantoon if you want. You have to make him vulnerable first. And yeah, I'm not good at actually using the charge beam, so...
Yeah, because if you try to do the microwave strat on him while he first shows his weakness, all that's gonna do is, like, he'll take the first hit and then he'll disappear. You need to do it when he's flying around. Oh no!
Oh, nice!
That was a good save. I was really worried he was gonna miss. I was worried he was gonna miss out on that, but he saved it.
Well done, Breakdown, and the charge beam. Gonna do you some good here, I think.
Where is he going now? Is he gonna check out Blue Brinstar and I guess the tower?
Yeah, that is a possibility for sure.
Although I think he'll do Blue Brinstar first before doing the tower. Or no? I guess he's gonna do the tower.
Oh, this was not the tower I was thinking of.
The tower were you thinking of?
I was thinking of Red Tower. Which you might
Then I
do
would have said Red
after
Tower.
Blue Star. I've always heard this as Shaft Supers, so
Oh, is that what it's called? I just called it the tower. He's got to be a bit faster with that.
well, for those of you just tuning in, this is so HK got behind a little bit because the Agate Tower with 4 hearts was not kind to him. The bow was in Pink Brinstar, which led to the morph ball at Pod. So you had to go into Pink Brinstar, get the bow, and then go back to Pod.
Oh,
space jump.
That's worth it.
Yeah, you're gonna want that.
Thankfully, he's got his reserve tank, so he's just gonna drain that out to top off his health.
It wasn't Lumberjack Ledge that necessitated Aga. It was straight up the only way to progress.
Yeah, because you'd have
That'll
to
do Breakdown. Sorry about that.
There's no reliable way to get to the Dark World, and Morph Ball was in Pod, so you had to be Agahnim to get to Pod.
Yeah, the only way to break those blocks at the bottom is with the speed boosters. So yeah, Breakdown had to go for the Shine Spark there.
Now, if I were in Breakdown shoes, I would have checked the rest of Blue Brinstar here before doing the tower, if only just for the fact that that would route me up to Wreck Ship.
Well, the counterpoint to that is what I was thinking a minute ago. You check Blue Brinstar by going right here first, and then go left out the door, out through Green Hill Zone, up Red Tower, and that puts you at Wreck Ship.
Yeah, though I think he's already like full cleared Pink and Green Hill, so he wouldn't need to go back down there.
Yeah, but it's like that's just to get you over to Red Tower. Is the thing. And it's a very and he also hadn't been to X-Ray, so you could also check that while he's doing it. Hook shot. Hello.
I find it weird that while Screw Attack can break through the block, if you're wall jumping up, the Screw Attack doesn't work.
Yeah, you have to hold your mouth just right, I believe, is how that works.
Although, since he has Space Jump, he could do a Space Jump Screw Attack, and that will...
So, interestingly enough, HK went just for the mode item, and will now be heading down to Red Tower.
And in Breakdown's case, he found magic powder at the back of the Billy Mays room there.
Okay. That sounds like a deal I would stick around for.
Buy capacity for your bombs to get some magic powder absolutely free.
Seems legit. more super missiles, and there's the bug net over at Beta Power Bombs.
So I think what Breakdown's gonna do is go check what's that X-ray, which I think HK already checked, but I didn't see what it.
He's gonna go to Waterway.
Oh yeah, he's got speed.
Yeah,
And the good thing is, since he's got gravity suit, he doesn't need to set up the shine spark above. He could just run. Although it needs a bit more distance.
Not nearly as important as what was there yesterday. Alright, just a missile. So, Breakdown now probably heading back out to the X-ray location. Then we'll be doing these checks that HK just did, I believe. Well, you know, there's a chance he goes to Meridia after this. Because I know he tried to go up Red Tower earlier and had a little trouble with it, so maybe he goes to Meridia.
I'm trying to remember. Breakdown checked out the that bottom item in Blueprint Star.
Did he? Huh.
I don't remember if he did or not.
Like, you would think he did.
Oh, mine and me said he did. What were they? Were they just missiles?
Yeah, it must have been something inconsequential. So there was a shield on the X-ray item, which Breakdown elected not to grab, and HK elected to grab. Alright, so Breakdown has the space jump.
So what was that X-ray there?
It was a shield.
Ah. So what was it like for a Breakdown or HK? Was it normal shield or a red shield?
Red. It was red for both, I believe. And HK just took a death, it looks like, trying to get out of X-ray.
Ooh, that is unfortunate. That's the thing, like with the power suit, spikes do like, was it 60, 80 damage? Actually, I think it's 50 damage they do. And then when you have the Very suit on, it's only like, what, 20 damage? 30?
Yeah, something to that effect.
Well, early power bombs is just missiles and another energy tank.
Yeah, and if I recall correctly, the second power bombs is just the bug catching net. All right, Breakdown leaving Red Tower as HK heads back in. And we're gonna get our play on wrecked ship, I imagine. Alright, so just missiles at middle ocean spot. And an energy tank at lower ocean.
I say, with this loadout, wrecked ship's gonna be really easy for breakdown. He's a bit low on power bombs here, but given the enemy loadout, he can easily.
Yeah, there shouldn't be a problem getting to Fantoon and finishing him off, and then beyond that, you can basically get there with just you can come outside and get some power bombs off of some green, like, spiky enemies. I don't know what they're called.
But the are you talking about the orbs or like the weird puffball things?
The puffball things.
I don't
The
know.
ones
They
that basically constantly drop power bombs.
Yeah, I don't know what they're called, but I do know what you're talking about. Here we go with breakdown fighting Fantoon here. With both those suits on, he's going to have max defense against this fight.
Yeah, you could probably stand there and tank all the damage from Fantoon with this amount of health, even if you enraged him 4 times.
Oh, looks like he missed out on the Doppler strat there.
A few extra hits there. Should be at roughly 1,300 damage so far. All right, the super missile taking down Fantoon, and that does it.
Nicely done. Didn't take too much damage on that fight, though. It'd be really impressive just to take more than like an E-tank's worth of damage on that fight with that kind of defense setup.
Oh, I'd find some way to do it. All right, on the way out, plenty of other things now to check in the wreck ship now that it's alive and well. Well, I mean, alive.
Active.
Well is perhaps not the term we want to go with.
You'd have seen better days.
So they do have the cape, but they also had tempered sword when they got there. Yeah, the sword was in Kakariko Well, if I'm not mistaken.
I
Second
believe
sword was
I believe HK checked Hobo on the bridge, right?
Yeah, I think so.
And he also checked Waterfall of Wishing as well as what was on Zorley.
All right, breakdown now heading over to the spiky room of spiky death, getting through there and heading up to the wreck ship reserve. No, this is not the reserve. This is just an energy tank. Oh, gross. Single rupee past the spiky room of death.
Nobody wants that.
All right. Just heading out to Attic now, and then just a little further on. Head outside, and then we'll take care of a few, gravity and reserve and all that mess.
Best part is since he has screw attack, he just needs to jump into these enemies and they're dead. It's a good idea to open that door up early so that once you're done with Attic, you can just run right to the exit and not even have to worry about the end.
Yeah, when I first played this hack, I thought that you had to go there. I thought you had to kill the enemies in there twice. I didn't realize you could open both doors and they'd stay open.
Yeah, that was one thing I had to figure out as well. But the addict item is a bust since it's just missile.
Though at this rate, Breakdown basically could have killed them again just doing that.
Still got 5 more items to check here in the wreck ship.
Looks like we will see Breakdown check the reserve item here.
And
it's vanilla.
Tank. Now, he could Shine Spark up there, but since he's got Space Jump, he can just jump up to it. 4 missiles.
He also knows that there are missiles in the middle location here, so now all that's left is to head into the Chorizo Bowling Alley. Chozo Bowling Alley, or whatever.
Did he check to see what that bottom line was?
He did. He checked that earlier with the space jump.
Was it just more vanilla missiles?
That it was.
So we've got 2 more items here, one being the gravity suit vanilla location and the... That's the item that's on the Chozo statue here. I'd imagine double gravity, something akin to the that one upgrade in Echoes that you get for underwater movement.
Huh.
Oh,
Hey!
Book of Medora! That's useful.
The wrecked ship packing the library today. Just 50 rupees at the gravity suit location, and that does it for the entirety of wrecked ship. So in terms of stuff we found over here, it was just the book, wasn't it?
Yeah. But given that they found it here, that means that Desert Palace is open for exploration. Though it could be boots locked.
Though, I know the first place I'd be heading.
Where's that?
It's called Paradox Cave.
Oh yeah, that is true. They've got the hookshot. They'll have access to not 5, but 7 items there. And as Weimar put out, pedestal is also open to be checked. Now, unfortunately, Breakdown does not have hammers, so he can't go see what's at the Ether Tablet, or, for that matter, see what's at Harry.
Yeah, but at this rate, I would be surprised if we didn't get Mirror or Hammer in Paradox Cave.
And this cave brings up a point. I wonder which is more of the Hype Cave, Paradox Cave or Hype Cave itself?
Well, who knows?
Honestly, I like to believe it's Paradox Cave just because there's 7 items to check there aside from the 5 at the Hype Cave. And more often than not, I've seen Hype Cave have the items required.
That being said, actually, we can't access Hype Cave yet.
No.
If we had the flippers or the hammer or a glove, we could access it.
At this current point in time, it's still inaccessible. Hell, most of no, actually, they could get it over to Thief Town since they've got Hookshot.
Yeah, but you need the flippers or a hammer or a glove to get to the spot where you can do the hookshot.
Now you could just go to the since they beat Agahnim, they can go to the Dark World through the portal at the Hyrule Castle.
Yeah, and then you need a flippers or a hammer or a hookshot to get to that spot. Believe me.
And they have Hookshot.
I mean, not a hookshot. Flippers or a hammer or a glove. There's just some stuff between the pyramid and that spot you can hookshot across the river.
And unfortunately, Hype Cave did not have anything for us.
Paradox Cave looking pretty garbage today.
I was trying to think. They both checked the sewers, right?
Wait, what was that on the island?
What was one on the island?
I don't know. On the floating island there, it was just out of frame. So the sewer was screw attack. They had to get that.
Oh, right. They did check that.
Okay, it was just supers. All right.
So unless Spiral Cave has something for us here, I would think that.
It's boot time.
I guess that answers my question.
We going fast now.
So this opens up a number of locations. This opens up Bonk Cave. This gives them access to Quake at the Lumberjack. And they can full clear Desert Palace.
Well, they will need a glove to full clear desert.
Oh, that's right, because they gotta... That's the gloves required to get into the boss area.
Okay, go with me on this journey for a second. Both gloves in the Misery Mire Shed.
Ooh. But wait, they can't be there.
Yes, they can if you go through Lower Norfair.
Oh, that'd be terrible. Well, actually, it wouldn't be that bad.
Yeah, we have space jump now, so that's reasonable actually.
Either way, Breakdown's got Quake.
Yep, Quake has been acquired, which is always going to be, you know, a little bit of peace of mind in case it's necessary. Alright, HK is heading to Fantoon, and Breakdown looks like they'll be heading for Desert right after checking Agahnim's cave. I believe he did check Bonk Rocks. It was just a big 20. Alright, so HK is setting up the microwave. The only problem is he's doing the same thing you were talking about. He's using the charge beam to deal the first hit, and that doesn't work. You gotta hit him with a missile first, and then you can switch to the X-ray.
Even still, like, this is doing quite a lot of damage to Fantoon, so long as he nails these charge beam shots, this fight's gonna go quickly for them. So let's see here, if in fact that Desert Palace was boots locked.
Alright. Nope, just a map on the torch there. And the big key in the middle chest means we'll have the small key in the big chest. And then some other stuff on the right-hand side, perhaps. Now, Fantoon goes down for HK.
Didn't get the microwave strats on that fight, but that's okay.
Alright, there's the first item in Desert, just 10 arrows. The second item is a bottle with a fairy. So luckily, this lack of glove will not prevent us from getting an item here, but it will prevent us from getting a crystal right now.
Now, since they do have a bottle, they could go check to see what's that sick kid.
Yeah, Sick Kid is real.
So sick kid could have the gloves we're looking for. Now, so another thing we don't realize is that given Breakdown's item equipment, he can go full clear Super Metroid.
Alright, Breakdown going to turn in the bottle. Let's see what our Sick Kid has today. More power bombs. This just in. Power bombs cause cancer.
So now he's giving it to you so that you can have cancer now.
Correct.
If I'm gonna get sick, then so will you. Or maybe Sick Kid was planning to use those power bombs to eradicate his own sickness.
Alright, so look at this.
Ah, you're right.
Yep, hammer or glove, or flippers to jump in the river. But right now, we've got none of the above.
So at the moment, they can either go down to Lower Norfair and check to see what's there, or they can go ahead and do a Meridia. Water walking glitch? Are you referring to fake flippers into water walking with a Link to the Past, or is that something more Super Metroid related?
I haven't heard of anything in Super Metroid called water walking. And the water walk glitch wouldn't really help us in that scenario because you would need a hole to set it up on with the boots, and basically the only place to do that in the Dark World is
The location just outside of Skull Woods.
Skull Woods, yeah. Well, like in theory, you could set it up in the Ice Rod Cave and then take the portal to the Dark World. The problem with that is there's no place to jump down so that you can activate it.
That's a good question. Yeah, where is Breakdown going? Oh, did he not check the lower part here?
No, I'm reasonably certain he checked it. I guess he reset without saving.
Oh, yeah. Also, I'm going to step out for a few minutes to just make a quick lunch, but I'll be right back.
Oh, I guess that was super missiles at the middle missiles. I was mistaken. I thought it was just plain missiles.
Also, did you pick up what I said?
I did hear. Go ahead.
Okay.
Do what you need to do. Yeah, Boots in Spiral Cave is always a, quote, fun time. He's gonna go get Quake again, and then I think maybe he'll flute up to 1 and take the Lower Norfair portal, or Upper Norfair portal. All right, breakdown heading into the business center, and it looks like we'll be heading over to Frog Speedway and on to Lower Norfair. It looks like. All right, we head to the entrance to Lower Norfair. Good old Lava Dive Central. No need to actually do the Lava Dive today because all the items that the game would expect you to have are here. All right, so I think at this point, if I'm breakdown, I head over to the Pikichozo statue and down to GT so that we can check the Misery Mire medallion. It does look to be what's happening here. Because Misery Mire is 100% required this seed. A bottle at Gold Chorizo space jump item. Was that the other bottle? Only saw it for like half a split second. All right. Gold Chorizo goes down thanks to his weakness of people standing on his foot. Oh no, it was silvers. There we go. Silver arrows at Gold Chorizo, and the screw attack item is the blue boomerang. For those of you who are fans of the boomerang. All right, Misery Mire is Quake. So yes, you are going to need that Quake medallion from the Lumberjack Cave. HK springballing his way up the Crumble Tower. The Mire Shed didn't have both gloves like I wanted it to, so sad day. But we do have Misery Mire proper, and this is completely accessible except the boss.
Okay, I'm back. What all did I miss?
Well, Breakdown did go ahead and head over to Gold Chorizo, got the silver arrows.
Ooh.
And we'll be checking out some of Mire here. Doesn't yet have the Cane of Samaria, and that is the first item in Misery Mire. And for those of you keeping score at home, the total number of items that are, somewhat relevant in Misery Mire is 2.
Yeah, so instead of just an absorbent amount of items like Pod or Turtle Rock. It just has an abundance of keys.
Yeah, the downside with that for Misery Mire though is that you basically don't need any of them.
Also, I take it Breakdown went through the front of, or actually the normal way you're supposed to get to Golden Tree.
Yep, went through the normal the lava dive section, where there wasn't a lava dive, of course, but you know. Alright, so Breakdown now heading over to the left side of Misery Mire.
So I take it he's just gonna try to look for. Oh, there's the second item.
That's the second item. So if he's counting, he knows that he's not going to find anything else necessary here. He could go looking for the big key, save some time, but looks like he's going to go ahead and take the Death Warp and get out.
And I'm still just wondering, like, where gloves might be. My guess is they're either going to be here in Lower Norfair or somewhere in Meridia.
Yeah, Meridia is quite possibly loaded today. So, Breakdown doing the standard power bomb for super missile trade here.
Now, alternatively, he could do screw attack into these things, but doing it with power bombs is faster.
Yeah, it's also more likely to hit all 5 of them. HK has cleared out the post-croc area. We know that there's the only thing remotely relevant over there was like some power bombs.
I thought it was just like 2 heart pieces and some missiles.
Yeah, I'm talking about the power bombs that were in the area just above.
Oh, right.
That's still technically post-croc. For the first few runs through this, I did not know that the room that Breakdown is going to was there, because every other wall in that room you could break using screw attack, but not that one. Hey, power gloves!
And with that, Dark World opens right up.
Yep, we can now finally head over to Village of Outcasts, Hype Cave, all that mess.
It's kind of sad to see that Super Metroid, and A Link to the Past for that matter, has been pretty reserved on beam upgrades, aside from Plasma Beam at the Waterfall of Wishy.
Yep, there was that. Okay. So, Breakdown about to reach Ridley pretty soon. Heading over to good old power bombs of shame here. Just a missile. Now, I don't know exactly why they're called power bombs of shame. I just know that's what they're called.
I think it has to do something about doing any percent with Super Metroid, and that I guess if you skipped out on power bombs earlier or something, then like runners would get it here instead. But I could be wrong. I don't know the exact details. All I know is
Or
just
like if you're running low on ammo or something, you can pick it up.
yeah,
maybe
something
for
like that.
some extra shots on Ridley. Because Ridley does take damage from power bombs. It also messes with his AI a bit.
Yeah, Mind of Me and J.K. Lasnik both point out that you only get those if you mismanage your power bombs during any percent.
All right, Breakdown is in the prime position for the Pogo.
This isn't Metroid Prime, this is Super Metroid.
Fair enough. I mean, he's ought to be awful close to dead. Like,
I think on one
he's
race
almost certainly dead, right?
I think on my last race, the commentators pointing out that like Ridley he was well past being dead, but the timer was being weird in that regard, and that he kept attacking me. I almost died on that fight because he put me down to like 48 energy with no reserves left. It was scary. Oh,
Ice beam!
Nice.
There we go. That's gonna add a little damage to the arsenal, and of course, give you the nice little freezing effect. Makes Turian so much better. All right, so Breakdown will now be heading out the back of Lower Norfair. There are a few items on the way out. There's the Lightning Bug Cave. There's the Spring Ball Maze. The item before the Spring Ball Maze, and then one item on the way out in the secret lava room. HK heading over to Speed Booster. Just getting that reserve tank.
And in the Ridley statue room, we have just bombs. We still got 3 more items to check here on the way out.
Spring Ball Maze, just an energy tank, which, I mean, I don't know if you'll go get that, but at this point, I probably wouldn't even bother. And
Yeah, I'm sure he'll
Breakdown's
find
doing the same.
I'm sure he'll find another one in Meridia if he's wanting to do stand-up glitch.
All right, heart piece in the lava dome there. I don't know if it's called lava dome, but I'm calling it lava dome.
Well, where Breakdown's at?
Yeah.
I think that's just called the Three Musketeers room.
Oh, that makes sense. Ice Beam was on Ridley, or at the room after Ridley, of course. Alright, Breakdown heading back through the cathedral, of course. Having already checked this, that's where the gravity suit was. It does look like HK is actually about to head that direction as well, and we'll be picking up the gravity suit soon.
And high-fiving Breakdown along the way.
Looks like they just barely missed each other. Now, one thing that's unfortunate is for HK right now is the location of the space jump, which kind of makes your life easier. It's just really out of the way for HK right now.
That's going to be good for him because he'll be seeing that gravity suit and he's going to get it.
All right, Breakdown heading into Meridia. One location we expect to have quite a bit of value based on the otherwise lack of value that we've seen so far. Just big 20s in the main street items.
Let's see, is the Mama Turtle
Room.
Yeah,
Go
Mama
ahead.
Turtle going to have anything?
A heart container, and in the wall, morph ball bombs.
Well, that's a bit silly.
Yeah, well, I mean, HK is going to Meridia as well, so that will actually give HK a little bit more mobility. He'll actually be able to do some of the flying mechanics here without the space jump. All right, Breakdown heading up to beach and watering hole. Another big 20.
Whoever's stashing their money here in Meridia is doing it very inefficiently. Just like hide their money here in stashes of 20 scattered all over the place.
Flippers over at the watering hole in Meridia.
How fitting.
And some free supers while we're at it.
You know, part of me was thinking we'd find flippers here in Meridia. All
right, so the flippers Very nice. Giving us access to that fire rod, of course. And, of course, logical... Well, I mean, with the glove, they had logical access to Zora, but there's more to it. All right. Breakdown now heading into the aqueduct room. This is otherwise what I would otherwise call the room where I save a bunch.
I think he's gonna check these top items. Oh, mirror! Finally, we find mirror 2, and see that Breakdown hasn't found plasma beam just yet. Spacer's a nice upgrade.
Yeah, I'd certainly take it.
It won't be useful for HK when he gets there, but for Breakdown right now, yeah, space.
Now, the only thing we're missing now to complete Swamp Palace is the hammer.
Yeah, that's another thing we're hung up on right now, is just, we gotta find hammer. So I'd imagine it's gonna be somewhere here, but since they got gloves earlier, hammer could also be at Thieves Town. Not specifically Thieves Town, but you know, the village of Outcasts.
Right. The whole West Dark World area, that's all completely open now. Breakdown checks the left sandpit first, finds none.
Did HK pick up morphball bombs? Breakdown showing his discontent towards the fake roids. It's probably not their actual name, but I like to call them fake roids. This is a bit bad for Breakdown because he's low on missiles and he can't miss too many here. Though, do the projectiles Botwoon fire out? Can they be destroyed? Oh, there goes Botwoon.
Breakdown is farming up some items for the trip over to Dragon.
HK doesn't need to set himself up for this, he just needs to shine spark up there. Though I'd imagine he probably doesn't know that.
I mean, yeah, you can do the whole, like, the grapple beam kill here pretty easily. But I imagine one of the things he was more interested in was just getting some health.
Yeah, he was pretty low on health.
Though again, there's an energy refill station over here, if I'm not mistaken.
So yeah, I guess like health, more super missile, just overall ammo refill.
Oh yeah, he definitely needed at least one super missile to get through that door right there.
Even then, I think the fake roids will drop supers.
Also, destroying the turrets here is nice. HK now picks up the mirror and goes ahead and picks up the spacer anyway. And then he quickly switches to plasma again. Alright, Breakdown gets intentionally grabbed by Dragon and will be firing that grapple beam until it grabs the electrical fields coming out of those turrets. And now we got roasted shrimp, ladies and gentlemen.
Or fried shrimp in this case.
Alright, so just 300 rupees of Dragon. So Breakdown has one more location that can be checked up here, and then there's a couple more on the way down. Now he did still skip the right side
The right side sand pit.
yeah, right side sand pit.
So I think what he's gonna do, he's gonna go check plasma beam room. If it doesn't have anything, he's gonna reload back, and then he's gonna check right sand pit on his way out, and possibly Shack 2.
There is that possibility.
I mean, given our item loadout so far, I would say it would probably be a safe bet to check Shack 2.
And I mean, we did get the grapple beam fairly early on.
Oh, we got a right sand check from HK here.
Yep.
I
Looks
saw
like
a red
boomerang and red shield. So now we know where all the shields are.
Now, does Breakdown have red shield?
He does not. Neither of them picked up the shield at X-ray.
I would have, and then like when we got here, they would have had mirror shield. Yes, Emu Flub, I did get paired on every race I've been in with this turn. I feel like I'm cursed.
That sounds like a problem.
It is a problem.
Who did you anger?
I don't know.
You know what? It actually makes a lot of sense to go right side sandpit here and then go to plasma beam, or like go to Shack Tool and then go to plasma beam, because you can go to plasma beam from the middle of that hallway here using the elevator shaft thing. It's not really an elevator.
Now, unlike Breakdown, HK has access to the microwave beam on Bot Wound. So he can microwave the dragon thing.
It looks like he's trying to set up to do it, just hasn't quite gotten there yet.
Hey, he's having a bit of trouble pulling it off.
It's all about lining up that shot and then hitting the X-ray in time. It always okay, this will probably do it. It always throws me off that you have to hit the dash button to activate the X-ray beam.
And of course, here's everyone's favorite digging robot, Shack 2. Just
Shack
look
Tool
at him.
later. Shack Tool, of course, later went on to star in his own video game called Shaq Fu.
Which unfortunately did not sell very well, but somehow still spawned a sequel.
The Cane of Burna.
It's like, is that worth it? I guess so. Or no, I guess Breakdown's like, is it worth it though? Nah. Now, I saw the cane shape for a second, but I didn't notice the color, and I thought for a second it was Cane of Samaria, but it's like no, it's this Luigi brother, the Cane of.
So I really hope that that's not like a palette error, because occasionally there are palette things which mess up in Super Metroid. I don't think it would accidentally display the Cane of Samaria as the Cane of Burna, though.
Now, I think in the case of Cane of Samaria, like no room that it shows up in will ever mess with its palette. Well, I guess Ade, you may have a point there. May have been the better cane. It does make you invincible so long as you have magic.
And they got half magic, though. Yeah, they gonna have magic.
What does Cane of Samaria do? It just creates a block.
Breakdown, you have space jump. What are you doing? Okay, there we go.
Sometimes it's a little faster with vertical climbing if you're doing wall jumping.
I mean, true. All right, plasma beam. Just a piece of heart. And taking the load here, as none of the items in those last four were that relevant. So at this point, Breakdown will go ahead and head out the Meridia portal, I imagine, over to the Dark World.
And since he's got flippers, he can easily get to wherever he needs to. Unless he's just gonna like save and quit.
All right, so Breakdown has basically full cleared Super Metroid at this point.
Yeah, there's nothing really else to check in Super Metroid.
I'm not entirely certain that I needed to qualify that. I think he actually has full cleared Super Metroid.
No, he has. He's full cleared it.
What precisely is HK doing here?
Oh, he's trying to get out. He doesn't have space jump.
Yes, but did he actually do the Dragon fight?
Yeah, he did the Dragon fight.
Okay.
Although, did he pick up Morph Ball bombs?
Well, he went in the room.
Because if he's got that, he can get out that way.
Yeah, he's got it.
He's got it. He doesn't need to do any of this. He just needs to do an infinite bomb. Meanwhile,
You could just do a
Breakdown.
gravity jump.
Well, gravity jump will only get you so far upward before you like go over the water and then sink right back down.
Yeah, I think it can get you there, though. I think that's one way I've gotten out of here. You can also go back into Dragon's room, pull off a short charge, and get a nice little spark out of it. Though he'd have a hard time. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Either way, Breakdown's gonna be seeing what King Zora's gonna rip him off with.
Just some bombs from Zora. 500 rupees.
It's better be some high quality bombs for 500 rupees.
Oh, yeah. He hasn't done the Dragon fight. Alright, so you got some microwave hits on Dragon.
So I think next best place to check here is going to be Skull Woods and Village of Outcasts.
Yeah, the whole West Dark World tour seems pretty good.
Did we ever get a pet check earlier?
Not to my knowledge. But it does seem like it would be pretty difficult to have a pedestal required seed at this point.
Yeah, I could definitely see that.
I think it's actually impossible. Like, other relevant items are all required for Turtle Rock, which is a pendant, except for Bombos, which is not going to be required since we have the Fire Rod.
Yeah, so at this point, pedestal seed's not going to happen.
Alright, so Breakdown crosses the river with the hook shot, and with the mirror in hand, we can also take care of the King's Tomb location and the Graveyard Ledge as well. Alright, so hk112 is trying real hard to get out of the Dragon fight. Oh, and he gets the short charge.
But now comes the fun part.
Speaking of Bombos, there's the Bombos medallion in
Yep, there it is.
the Graveyard Ledge. I think this wall jump might be technically possible for HK, but it would be, you know, basically on the last pixel. Much
Nothing
like,
important,
there it
right?
is. Yeah. Much like
There's
the
no-
gauntlet wall jumps. But he got it.
There was nothing important on the bumper ledge. It was just missiles.
Yeah, seems good. Alright, Breakdown heading for Skull Woods. There are 2 items in this dungeon as well as a required crystal. So let's get it done. Alright, there's a big heart on the left
That's-
side of Skull.
Yeah, that's item number 1.
Big key, which is a little unfortunate because we don't yet have a small key. So Breakdown is going to have to head down to this room on the right-hand side, where there is a guaranteed small key to allow him to get out. Alright, HK attempting some wall jump shenanigans to get out of here, and does it beautifully.
Meanwhile, Breakdown pulled off a nice bomb jump to get across.
And And that is the second item in Skull Woods. So at this point, all Breakdown needs to do is go finish off Mothula, and that'll be it for Skull Woods.
It's always a nice thing with these kind of low item dungeons that once you find both items, you don't need to worry about full clearing.
We did a similar thing with Misery Mire earlier. Breakdown, after finding both items, decided to peace out.
Now, unfortunately, despite the fact that he has red mail on, while it will reduce damage against Mothula's, that will reduce damage against the spikes.
Right. So in this fight, with green mail, if you're going to get hit, you want to get hit by the spikes, because they'll only do 1 heart of damage as opposed to 2. But with red mail, you want to get hit by Moth, because he'll only do a half.
And blue mail's just like same across the board, so you don't want to get hit at all.
True. Yeah, you basically don't want to get hit at all, period, but sometimes you don't have a choice. Alright, so HK finally makes it into the plasma beam door. I am going to say it's going to be a trick for him to get out of here. I mean, he did show that he can pull off a 2-tap short charge, so...
A heart from the future, so an energy tank.
Alright then. So, pedestal, 100% confirmed, unrequired. It did. Pedestal was dead to begin with, but we confirmed our suspicions. Wave beam at the chest game.
And so Breakdown's got max beam damage.
I don't expect any of our runners to go to Ice Palace without... Well, you absolutely can't without the glove. Speaking of ice, there's a second ice, or the ice rod.
Now, I'm curious to know if he's going to do a quick dip into Thieves Town just to see what the first 4 items.
I mean, as many items as we're missing, I absolutely would. We're still missing one of the gloves and a hammer. You need that second glove to get into Ice Palace. Alright, so HK did go ahead and reset, and it does look like he did save after defeating Dragon. There's the second glove in Thieves Town, sort of in its vanilla dungeon, to be fair.
French vanilla location.
Now, we don't have the hammer yet, and Alice to be check the one chest in Swamp that can have it.
Now, interestingly, since they found a key, like an extra key, that means there's something in that big chest, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be an item.
Right.
Let's see, they found how many items so far? Just the big gloves.
Yeah, I didn't see what was in the. I didn't see what was in the very first chest, so. No, HK, you can go that way. You shined the X-ray everywhere you needed to shine it, except in the one spot that would let you out.
So at the very least, we found 2 items so far, and if this last one... Okay, so if Blind has either map or compass, then the last item is going to be behind that chest, which is Hammerlock. Otherwise, Blind's going to have the last item and, break down with full. The nice thing about this is a green pendant, so Breakdown's going to get another item out of this whole deal.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I would have been tempted to just bail after picking up that, or the first 4 items here, especially having picked up that glove. But we will see if clearing it out pays off. So, personally, the places I check next, well, I do blacksmith, and I do magic bat, and I do purple chest. Or maybe not magic bat. No, we still haven't seen Hype Cave. So
yeah, that's another thing.
I don't believe he has done the digging game, which would be somewhat unfortunate. Especially if he tries to bring the purple chest down there. Ah, so we're doing the magic bat without the purple chest. That will cause him to lose his portal, but I think he's going to use that opportunity to we'll re-grab the portal up at the top of CAC.
All for another
heart. I do like seeing the hammer at Magic Bat, though. It's kind of hilarious. All right, hk112 now heading down into Norfair. He might go ahead and start the arduous trek through Norfair, or who knows. Looks like dipping into Zelda for a second. It does have the mirror now, as well as that glove. So Tower of Hera is in play.
Oh, Breakdown doesn't have enough money for the digging, meaning
Oh, he doesn't have the glove. Yeah. Yeah, HK doesn't have the glove. Yes, Revolving Ocelot, this was an Aga-1 seed in multiple ways. Not only was Aga-1 required to reach the Dark World in the first place, the Morph Ball was also in the Dark World, which you needed to get to, and, throwing this one out there, you also needed to defeat Agahnim to get the Quake Medallion off of the Lumberjack Cave. Oh yeah! Breakdown totally should have done the arrow game. If you know the strat, it's completely free. Though to be fair, I didn't pick up the arrow game strat until I started playing the inverted mode in V30. All right, Breakdown now heading over to turn in the purple chest. We can see a Bombos tablet check after this. Energy tank feels okay.
Yes, looks like it was super missiles on Bombos. But Hype Cave could pay out for us. It could give us all the items we need. Ah, there's Hammer. So Hype Cave did pay out. So now all we need to find is Cane of Samaria, and then we'll be in go mode. Yes, always trust in Hype Cave. And since Breakdown's here to go finish up Pod, they're gonna go ahead and turn in the green pendant and see what they can get here. Oh, it's just a piece of heart.
There we go.
Having connection issues.
Something to that effect.
It's okay, I was having connection issues last night. So I
was
know what it's
talking
like.
I was talking at you and not getting anything back, and I'm like, I wonder if I need to reconnect. And then it just like, nope. Anyway, so I noticed we have a hammer from Hype Cave, which is pretty sick.
Hype Cave paid out.
Oh,
Since Breakdown more or less full cleared Pod here, all it needs to do is just go down to the boss.
very true. HK got the worst text box in the game by getting talked to in the dark world on the mountain. Alright, so power bombs for HK on the ether tablet. And we are going to get to see a bit of a check that we haven't seen yet. Tower of Hera.
Nothing at the first item location. I don't know why he was trying to use an arrow against the turtle there. Or why he's like using just hammer to get rid of him, because he's got butter sword.
Alright, breakdown now. Heading to Helmasaur King. The fight breaks down like this. 17 hammer hits. And then like a couple of butter sword slashes. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little surprised that Breakdown didn't go ahead and finish Swamp right after Hype Cave. But, whatever.
Well, either way, Pod is done for Breakdown.
Yep, no important items there. And basically, we're going to need that Cane of Samaria, and a lot of times I find if you're looking for Cane, it's in Swamp.
Alternatively, he does have access to Super Bunny Cave and Hookshot Cave.
Yeah, Dark Death Mountain is definitely a possibility here.
I think what he's going to do now is check the peg spot over by the smithy place, and also go do Diggy mini game. This is always so satisfying to do if you have boots and hammer.
Ooh, HK was going for the big chest of Hera and accidentally fell along the side of the hole in the vanilla spot instead of in the middle, and so he has to go back up and do it again.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. We're gonna strike it big here at the digging minigame. Let's see. Big money, no whammies. Big money, but no whammy. So wow, this is a lot of digs just to get the freaking item.
Womp womp. Stop at a power bomb.
Where's Breakdown gonna go next? I guess he is gonna go for Dark Death Mountain. It'd be a good play, all things considered, because if he's gonna go check Hera in case it has anything, he could also go see what's at the Ether tablet.
Yep, and then of course the whole Dark Death Mountain play as well. And also, notably, since we're looking for Kane of Samaria, there's no chance of getting jebaited into Turtle Rock.
Yep. So he has no reason to go in there unless we just... Actually, no. Yeah, he doesn't have any reason to go to... Because you couldn't even get in there unless you were a serious master of hover. I think that was something Math Girl said yesterday. She'd love to see a challenge either for Andy or someone else that was really good at Link to the Past to like go through all of Turtle, but without using Kane of Samaria at any point.
Just generate a seed with no logic and put Kane on Trinex.
And as we saw with going past Turtle Rock there, it required bomb boost. Not that we need to get in there anyway.
Yep. And now, strangely enough, Breakdown does have bombos, but it would not be useful whatsoever.
Let's see, is Hookshot Cave gonna pay out?
Not immediately. Alright, there's our last reserve tank. Some more bombs. Nope.
Unfortunately.
A lot of Garbo. And it does look like Breakdown is heading west here. We'll get those same checks in Hera, I imagine. Ether tablet check, and I don't believe either runner has checked Spike Cave yet.
Nope, not that I'm aware of.
Spike Cave is super in logic.
And as we saw on HK's side, there was nothing of importance in the Tower of Hera, so Breakdown doesn't need to go in there, though that might not stop him. Okay, yeah, he's just seeing what was on top of Spectacle Rock. Into Spike Cave he goes. Half Magic, Cave Boots, yeah, he can clear this easy. Aw, but it was all for missiles.
Ripperoni. And HK is finally checking the early supers room, which, you know, as we discussed before, is Safety City.
Yep, because there's his red mail.
You get the red mail, the half magic, all those glorious items. Well, there's a chance that HK might head for Shaft Supers here in a second, which will get him the space jump.
Now, I think a few places we haven't checked. Breakdown hasn't checked Checkerboard Cave, I believe. So that's one place he can look into. Otherwise, Candace Mario could be here in Swamp Palace. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if it was in here with so many items in Swamp Palace.
All right, Swamp Palace, 6 items, some of which will be garbage, but hopefully one of which will be arcane. Though it could very well be an Ice Palace as well.
Had a bit
Alright.
of bad luck there with that statue just hitting him twice like that.
Alright, so HK is wall jumping up the shaft here. He'll check, find the space jump, and realize, yep, I need to do this. So he gets the power bombs ready so that he can.
He doesn't
Get rid of those
necessarily need to
jerks.
do that. He's got screw attack.
Yeah, I guess you could do a run. You grab the thing and then you do screw attack all the way over. Yeah.
See, one strategy I like to do is I build up the shine spark at the end of the room there, so then I can just do a running jump across the way and then do the diagonal shine spark up the.
Yeah, I think that's what he's going for.
Man,
But
4
more
supers.
often than not, I have issues with. Yeah, 4 supers. I think 3 power bombs will also take care of them.
And regular missiles do nothing. So he's got to use power bomb. At least to get rid of that last one, which thankfully only took 1.
If you fall into one of those holes, it's awful difficult to get out without wasting your shine. And it's also awful difficult to get out in time to actually use your shine spark. Ah, almost got it.
Hey, he's so close to getting this. Oh, is he giving up on it?
Oh, that is very unfortunate. Of course, the space jump makes your life so much easier. And he is going to have to get to Lower Norfair the old-fashioned way, just because the only other way of getting there is through Mire, and you need gloves to pull that one off. And of course, one of the gloves is in Lower Norfair. The other one is locked behind that.
So he needs space jump, otherwise he's going to have to do some gravity super jumps just to get into Lower North. And I'm not sure if he knows how to do that.
But he did just pick up the hook shot, which is pretty nice for him. Though that is probably going to debate him over to Paradox Cave, which we know has nothing. But at least he'll get the boots out of it over in Spiral Cave. Yeah, so for those of you just joining us, have no idea what's going on, this is a game that is, you know, sort of the unholy abomination that was put together by Total and some other impressive coders that took Link to the Past and Super Metroid, put them together in one glorious combination where the items can be found for either game, in either game, and it's still set up in a way that both games are beatable. It's so great. Meanwhile, Left Side Swamp being its usual worthless self. And in we go. Alright, so draining the water down here, that will get the water off of 2 chests that we can check, plus open up the way to the boss here in Swamp. Okay, we'll be checking the waterway, which as we recall was just a missile. Whole bunch of money in the waterfall room chest. And all that's left is Argus. And once again, we're still looking for that Cane of Samaria.
Being a bit reckless here, but that Buttersword just like doing all the damage he needs against the pup.
Interestingly enough, the Buttersword has a neat property which will allow you to pull those puffballs off of Argus and continue killing them in rapid succession if you hold out the sword. You got to do it with the right timing, but it is possible, and you don't even need the boots to do it. You do need the boots for the Tempered Sword version of that.
Well, all that's left for them now is Ice Palace, and that... Oh, actually, no, they still gotta do Misery Mine.
Yeah, but Ice Palace is the last real place you'd want to check here.
Yeah, Tara Harrow's been checked.
Like,
The only
I think
place-
Catfish has not been checked.
No, he has been checked. I don't think Breakdown's checked Checkerboard Cave, so it might be there.
Yeah, Checkerboard's a possibility.
And there's also the Thieves Town big chest that wasn't
Gross.
checked since he didn't have hand.
Yeah, Thieves Town Big Chest is straight up gross. There it is! Kane of Samaria, first chest, Ice Palace. And that, my friends, is go mode for Breakdown. So all Breakdown has to do is finish this off and go finish off Meyer, and that'll do it. Alright, Breakdown pulling off a slightly unconventional version of the Stalfos kill there, but gets it done. And now it's time for Ice Palace. For a second there, it looked like he wasn't going to do the bomb jump, but he realized what was going on. And that looks good. Ice Palace bomb jump complete. Ice Palace bomb jump, of course, saves ridiculous amounts of time in Ice Palace if you're in go mode, and still can save some time if you're not.
Yeah, unfortunately, we gotta check all items here.
Why? He's got the cane.
Oh, he did get Kane?
Yeah, it was in the first chest.
Oh, I didn't even notice.
I tried to be loud about it. Did I
My
not come
apologies.
through?
But yeah, doing that bomb jump here in Ice Palace, you just... Doing that allows you to push a block down and, like, hit the switch so that you don't need Kane of Samaria to beat this.
Alright, HK finally pulls off the Shine Spark to get that space jump. And HK should be in good shape to finish this off.
Yeah, in this case, if you were wanting to save up on magic, Bombos is much better at this to just get that opening ice destroyed.
So, yeah, Bombos will take care of the shell quickly. It is a little slower than doing 8 fire rod shots if you're really good at it, but it does save you a lot more magic. But yeah, with the butter sword, you can usually keep Cold Stare in the corner like he did and just beat the snot out of him.
The nice part here is that since all he has left is Desert Palace and Misery Mire, he could just go right here and finish both.
That is basically the best. Yeah, if you release the spin at just the right time, it is definitely possible to get all the Cold Stare puffs with a single spin, which will put them into the corner. and then continue from there. Now the spin will do like a quarter of Cold Stare's health with either tempered or butter sword. The butter sword slashes also do a quarter of health. And it looks like HK here is heading back over to Rex ship because he left one item here. It was in the spiky room of spiky death. And unfortunately, we know that's just the worst. Well, it's not the worst. That was in the wave skip room. This is close. It's a single green rupee. Oh, the pen gators. Yeah, the pen gators you could definitely get with one spin. You need tempered sword to pull that off. If you have master sword, what most players will do is drop 2 bombs and then bonk over the right-hand wall. Or bonk with the right-hand wall.
While silver arrows would finish off land mollusts with one hit, it's a bit slow, and the extra particles to it causes a bit of slowdown. So it's usually safer to go with fire rod since the shots travel fast and doesn't slow down.
And let's be fair, you were probably already on fire rod from the other room. So that way you don't have to switch the item, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's Desert Palace done for Breakdown. All he's got left is Misery Mire, and then it's off to Ganon's Tower.
Now that being said, I do tend to switch to silvers there because I'm bad at fire rod. Alright, so Breakdown just needs to head in here and finish off Vitreous. He did not grab the big key when he was in here the first time, so we don't know exactly where that is. We still got to do a little exploration that way. Very nice mire too. Thinking Breakdown will very much be hoping it's not in the cutscene room.
I mean, if it is, he can at least take a break, or a few second break to stretch his legs or something. But yeah, nobody wants it to be that room. And if it was, that'd be the vanilla mire location for the big key.
But he's going for it first, so not trying any of the other chests, just gonna bite the bullet and check the vanilla big key location. I don't know what HK is doing here. He's already checked Crocomire, and this just goes to Crocomire.
Aww. Sadly, no big
Go
key.
this way. All right. So Breakdown now heading for the big key in this chest. It's the only remaining chest, if I recall correctly, where it could have been. Because the only other ones left are the boss and the big chest. All right, HK finally making it over to Ridley's section. Getting the space jump, which will allow him to go visit Gold Torizo if he so desires.
You know what's funny? Sometimes when I do get Godmire, and I'm able to go in here early, I was in that habit of hitting the block before that room first, just out of habit. And it's like, oh wait, I didn't need to hit it, so now I gotta go hit it again, just so I can get through.
I'm not gonna say I've done that before, but I may have done that before, way too many times.
And with Silver Arrows here, he makes short work of victories here.
Alright, so HK will at least be picking up the Silver Arrows here at Gold Torizo, so that's going to feel pretty good.
Probably not what he's looking for, but hey, he found silvers at least.
Alright, looks like it's time for the big key guessing game. That's 7 crystals for breakdown. So make sure to get your guesses in. 1 to 22. There are 22 locations where the big key can be. And if you guess correctly, you could be added to our leaderboard, provided that you have supported the Speed Gaming Network with a subscription or 250 bits or more. If you haven't done that, you can feel free to play along either way, but that's how the leaderboard works. And I am looking forward to this GT climb.
Which chest do you think is going to be on?
Well, I want it to be Bob's chest because that's my contractually obligated guess, but that's not what I actually guessed.
What number would that be? Like 19?
It's either 14 or 18, depending on which way you go. Could also be 12 in a certain route.
12, 14, or 18, you said?
Yeah.
Okay. I usually guess 8 or 9 for either the Firebar room or the Fire Snake room. So for this one, I'm gonna say 9.
Okie dokie.
We'll just see how lucky Breakdown is on this. Maybe with how the seed has been so far, it may play nice and give us a God Ganon's Tower chest pull.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I was real happy about GT yesterday.
But with it being in the second chest.
Yep. And Breakdown not going right side as some people are wont to do. Instead heading to the...
Oh hey, there's high jump.
Well, there we go.
So
that'll make Turian and the escape just a little easier.
And also make the baby skip logic possible if they wanted to do that.
All right, so missiles, a small key, more missiles, or super missiles, more missiles, and nothing else. So yeah, we found 2 of the 4 small keys so far. Yeah, we technically had boots on torch.
Oh, there's the big key.
There you go. That's chest number 8.
Yeah, see, I guess chest number 9, so I was 1 off. So who guessed number 8? That was... Closest guess?
Closest guess was 12. That's impressive.
Well, either way, GG to y'all if you guessed right.
So HK has had a few issues here and there. Early play against Aga1 caused him some trouble trying to clear the tower on 4 hearts. Having not done a whole lot of Aga1, it looked like. He's had some platforming issues here and there as well.
Yeah, this seed has not been kind to HK.
At the very least, this has been a very interesting seed. I can tell you that. So for one, the first glove was in Lower Norfair.
Yeah, because we couldn't get to the second glove upgrade in Thieves Town without it. Because, no, actually, they could have technically, if they wanted to, go through Meridia, get flippers, and get to Thieves Town that way, but I feel like that would have taken longer.
Yeah, that would have worked. You could have technically had the glove from Thieves Town first. You are correct.
Though, and honestly, with like how Breakdown routed himself in this, I think he did the right call of doing just both Lower Norfair and Meridia, get both out of the way, and then just get his second glove upgrade once he went to Thieves Town.
Yeah, seems entirely legit. All right, HK now back in Lower Norfair, having finished off Desert. Looks like he elected not to go into Misery Mire, which is a good call, because we know he won't be able to finish it. It's got basically nothing.
Breakdown doing the intended strat for this route. I still have a bit of trouble doing the execution for that, but
Alright, so the trick is go up first and lay the block to the left. Just a little below where it needs to be. And then, make sure it fires off. And the reason you go up first is so you'll be close enough to the top right one to actually hit it in time.
that makes sense.
Once someone told me that, I've been getting it pretty consistent. This has been Link to the Past execution tips with some of the worst, probably the worst person at Link to the Past execution.
It's okay, you're probably better at it than I am.
Alright, speaking of the worst, HK heading through the worst room in the game. While Breakdown taking down Trolldorm 2. No interest in that chest. We're not going to get to see it right now.
He doesn't need it. He just needs to get out.
All right, he hasn't gone to Spiral Cave yet, so HK could. All right, HK finally picks up the Power Glove.
I think that counted as one hit for breakdown, since I think if both hit him at the same time, it'll only count as one hit rather than.
Yeah, basically, the shorthand for figuring out whether it actually hit more than once is to count the sounds. Like if you hear it more than once, then it's 2 hits.
Either way, that was a quick fight for breakdown. Yeah, 2-2-1-1.
Oh, so other things that were awesome about this seed was the bow to morph ball situation. We'll talk about that after the Ganon fight here. Breakdown on Ganon. On to phase 2 again, and Buttersword making this a trivial academic exercise.
Yeah, because he's already in phase 3.
Breakdown getting in some extra hits here on phase 3 because, of course, there is no kill like overkill.
Just because you only need to hit him once doesn't mean you have. That doesn't stop you from hitting him more than. Just smack the old pig around.
Ooh, a nice spot for a double. Oh, didn't go for it.
I think he was wanting to see if he could get the torch glitch, but unfortunately that wasn't the case. As much as I like to get that early damage into Ganon, I feel safer getting that torch glitch first, before any.
I mean, with half magic and fire rod, do you really need the torch glitch? As long as you got silvers.
True. Either way, single G in chat for breakdown.
Yep, that's Link to the Past down, and breakdown now just has a good, nice quick Turian section to deal with. I think the goal for Turian for most competent SM runners is 8 minutes or something.
Seems about right.
I calculate this by just taking my time and cutting it in half. No, I'm kidding.
Link had to go on that extravagant quest just to beat Ganon so he can get himself some bacon. So HK having a bit of trouble with the middle space pirates here.
I tend to like to do the super missile strats here because
super missile strats are a lot faster than charge plasma.
I think if you had charge plasma wave ice, it might one-shot them, but I'm not sure.
Like, does ice actually add damage? I thought all you need was just.
Ice adds damage. Charge plasma wave ice deals 900 damage in a shot. And if I'm not mistaken, 3 super missiles is also 900 damage. So unless those metal pirates are weak to supers, that should be the same.
Yeah, for some reason I thought all Ice Beam did was just give you the ability to freeze your enemies.
Speaking of freezing your enemies, also really useful for Metroids.
Yeah. Though, yeah, definitely fast. Usually, if you don't have Ice Beam, it's best to get them all bunched up so that you're not wasting power bombs getting rid of all.
Yeah, with no power, with no ice beam, you basically want to gather all the Metroids together and drop 3 power bombs as they suck away at your health forever. Now, HK is using Grapple Beam to farm up some health here and get ready for Ridley. Now, Ridley goes down in 30 super missile hits.
And one strategy I like to do for the baby here, since I cannot for the life of me pull off the baby skip, I get my health down low enough to where it only takes like less than a second for the baby Metroid to drain out all my health.
Yeah, and it looks like Breakdown is about to do some of the same by just getting himself as bodied as possible.
Yeah, I think if you're holding the angle button, that actually shortens your invulnerability time. So that just adds in like more hits there from the enemy.
There we go. Breakdown gets grabbed right there and just health drained away. We're good to go. HK is trying to put the last few shots into Ridley here.
He's got plenty of health, so I think he's fine right now. In fact, I think Ridley's already down. He just... No, I guess he needs a few more hits.
I think between the health he's got and the reserve tanks sitting in the back, this should be fine. He had 40 supers coming into this fight, so I imagine most of those landed.
Also, I think Ridley's already dead.
There
Yeah,
we go.
Ridley's been dead, but HK kept shooting at him.
Yeah, it's kind of important to keep track of how dead Ridley is. HK is going to pick up that ice beam we were talking about a minute ago here. All right, let's see if Zeb skip happens. Breakdown remembers to turn off screw attack, otherwise Zeb skip doesn't work. At least not the Ice Rinka version. And he's not going to bother, he's just going to start missiling it.
Unless you get it like right away, at that point it's just like, don't bother with the Zeb skip anymore, just get to Mother. Since he's got full beam combo, he doesn't need to worry about his ammunition. Once he gets to Mother Brain, just fire.
Yeah, perfectly executed charge beam strats are, I believe, a little faster than using the super missiles. So,
He is
but
gonna
the super
like
missiles are very, very fast and consistent.
Yeah, he's definitely gonna let loose a lot of them just to get in and damage very quickly. Because I think, like Ridley, Mother Brain is weak to super missiles.
No, Mother Brain is not weak to super missiles. It deals 300 damage to Mother Brain, so you need a grand total of 60 to take down this phase. If you want to take it all in one shot, which Breakdown only had 48. But each of the charge wave ice plasma shots is going to deal 3 super missiles worth of damage.
Yeah, unfortunately, Breakdown lost too much health there and didn't get himself into the stand-up glitch mode, so he instead opted to put himself in optimal spot to just be in the next phase.
Yeah, I'm too nervous to try stand-up glitch.
I can pull it off consistently. That's one trick I can probably say I can pull off consistently in Super Metroid is the stand-up glitch. The only thing you need to keep track of is that when you're in this phase, do not be on the ground when the baby Metroid shows up, and after it latches off of Mother Brain's head like that. because both instances will force you to the ground and put you into that crouching animation, thus negating the stand-up glitch.
Now, my issue is I can't really remember how to even get it set up in the first place. I think you're supposed to get your health to a point where...
Yeah, you need to have it over 7 energy tanks, or at the very least, have 7 energy tanks full. And then once you get hit by the rainbow beam, bring it down to... Yeah, just bring it down to the last, empty energy tank. But you have to be really quick with it. Once that rainbow beam is done, you got to be right up on your feet. Because if you stall for even half a second, it's too late.
So you want to make sure that the first rainbow beam does not take you below 300.
Yeah.
And then you want to get yourself below 100 before that happens.
Mm-hmm.
Or before the second rainbow beam goes off.
Yeah, basically. And then if you do that, make sure you're in the air during the bits of the cutscene with the baby Metroid, and you've got yourself a stand-up glitch.
Alright, that makes sense. So Andy and Ivan is later today, but they will also be joining you for commentary on the seed coming up here in just a few minutes. So if you want to hear some quality commentary from some quality runners, I would look no further.
Yeah, of all the runners I see on this crossover randomizer, Ivan and Andy are pretty up there in terms of being pretty good speedrunners. Andy, I know for certain, is just really good at A Link to the Past.
Yeah, basically sickeningly so. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, that space pirate almost kicked Breakdown out of his shine sparking there, but
Alright, so we take care of the shaft escape.
is he gonna save the animals? No, he's not.
Nah. I mean, in a tournament where your run is on the line, I don't expect the first place runner to do that. You might.
I would, no matter what, even if I'm ahead or not, I would save the animals. But yeah, GG for Breakdown for finishing this race with an SRL time of 3 hours, 43 minutes, and 35 seconds.
Well done. Well done. And it does look like that HK is going to go ahead and forfeit the race here after seeing the GG. So, well played to both runners, of course.
Yeah, to be fair, this was a rough seed. They had to go all over the place. By the way, we're going to see if we can bring both runners here for a bit of an interview before we close the stream.
All right, we are now joined by Breakdown. Congratulations, Breakdown.
Thank you very much. Oh, quite the seed. Quite the seed. Man, both got through.
Yeah, how'd you guys go all over the place? And welcome hk112.
GG, say.
That was a mess, let me tell you. Whew.
Yeah, what are both of y'all's thoughts on this seed?
My personal take, one of the more painful ones I've ever played, certainly. First glove in Lower Norfair, second glove in a pendant dungeon. That's not friendly, not by any stretch of the imagination. There was that situation early too with Morphball and Pod, bow-locked Pod,
yeah.
no less.
Bow-locked and Agahnim locked.
Yeah, and there wasn't really any way to find a bottle that you could sort of cheese your way through without to get to that morph ball. You were pretty much locked into going to Pink Brinstar to get that morph to get that bow so that you could then go to pod and get the morph ball. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, no, big pink with too big pink with screw attack is not a nice situation. I'm just glad I did it before Aga.
I
thought
did Aga early. I saw that and I'm like, yeah, why not? But I died a lot on it.
The seed was screaming Aga 1. It was screaming it. You got like 3 swords out the gates, and the cape and the lamp. It's like, yeah, it wants you to do Aga. It wants you to do Aga right now. But
I checked Lumberjack early and I saw that medallion. I'm like, oh, I got that feeling in my stomach.
so I didn't get that extra little bit of Aga vision. I didn't check Lumberjack until after I found Boots.
Yeah, I had issues with the Link to the Past this seed. I really did. I don't know, like, my routing that well, but you know, it was fun. I'm enjoying it, so you know.
HK, I think if you had gone to Pink Brinstar just to do that item check early, you would have gotten bow and kind of be on the same route that Breakdown was doing.
Well, my problem is I don't know how to, like, at the time I didn't have the hook shot, so I didn't know any other way, and I was talking to Breakdown right after. I don't know other way to get to Hype Cave without the hook shot or the hammer or a set of gloves. I don't have that knowledge of Link to the Past to route my way that way.
The only other way you could have done it was with the flippers, and it's the same way. You just jump in the river and swim up.
I forgot I had the flippers. Plus,
you didn't have the flippers.
Oh, at the time. Oh,
yeah.
Well, I was just trying to think of other ways, and I'm like, I'm lost, and you know, I was just going with the flow. I even backtracked to the wreck ship reserve to see if something was there.
Yeah, that's gonna be a bit of a situation there. This has been a impressively messy seed that just really did not like you.
Did you like my crumble tower trick? Did you see what I did there with the string ball? I have
did.
to ask.
It was beautiful.
I'm like, I didn't see that item, or I fell down, so I was like, wait a minute, I got spring ball. Do. Why not?
Spring ball is the best item, empirically proven. I forgot I had it for like half the seed, but
I did pick up Spacer because I love that beam. I can't just let it sit on something.
And plus, since you didn't find Plasma Beam at the time, that was a big help for you.
No, I had Plasma Beam. I just picked up Spacer because I liked Spacer. Because I fake flippered up to Zora. That's why I'm like, oh, Fire Rod. Hey, look at that. And then I got all my stuff and went to Meridia, and then, you know, I saw Spacer. I'm like, I'm not going to leave Spacer. I like Spacer Beam.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty useful on occasion.
I'm not going to let my favorite beam just sit there out in the cold and, you know, unequipped and, you know.
I almost didn't take it, and I was like, wait, it's an upgrade. I should have that.
I fake flippered and saw Plasma, and I'm like, oh, thank God, something.
I think in Breakdown's case, he still just had the normal beam, even with charge beam. Spacer was an upgrade for them.
Yeah, I was trying to put off Agahnim 1 as long as possible, and that's what led me to fake flipper. And then I saw that Fire Rod, and then I looked at my money. I'm like, I don't have enough for the scam artist, so I backed out.
Yeah. Well, it does look like we've got another race coming up on this channel here in about 10 minutes. So we do need to wrap things up here, but anything else you guys would like to say before we do so?
Go ahead, Breakdown. You won.
Gonna say, looking forward to the next round, certainly. Thanks to the two of you for commentating. Thanks to our tracker. I don't know the name on our tracker, but good job to them. And yeah, all you people in the chat, you should definitely check out this next race. It promises to be a treat. So yeah.
Same with Breakdown. And give this randomizer a try. It's fun. I may be bad at it, but I will recommend it to anybody because it's fun.
Oh yeah, no,
Absolutely.
Two very fun games, definitely. I've only
Oh,
been
yeah.
doing seeds for like 2 months now, but it's got its hooks in me pretty bad. So
Yeah, but nice commentating. Thanks for commentating, guys, and watching me fail miserably and watching him spectacularly.
All right. Once again, I want to thank both of our runners, hk112 and Breakdown, for putting on an excellent show today. I want to thank our tracker, Mind of Me, for running the wonderful icons on the screen. And my co-commentator, Pansnick, thank you so much for joining.
Yeah.
And I would invite you all to stick around for the next race. That's going to be Lack Attack versus Lachlan. Coming up basically right now, and we'll be joined by Andy and Ivan in the commentary booth. So I hope you guys are looking forward to that. It's been pretty good. Anything else you'd like to say, Pansnick?
I'm good.
All right. If you enjoyed what you saw here today, make sure to give the runners here a follow, and anybody else who you think might be worth your time. I'm sure we'd all appreciate it very much. So once again, thank you all for watching, and stay tuned for the next race, and we'll see you later.
Peace out.